a great show lined up. We're going to just kind of talk about what's going on. What's going on with you, Aaron?
Just talking. Tuesday, MotorTrend, Mike Brewer and I on Mike Brewer's World of Cars is, he came up to Tahoe and we had a really good time, and that's debuting episode number 8, I think, on his show on the MotorTrend app.
Well, you know what? Since you talked about it now, we're not talking about it on today's show. So
all right, there you go.
Don't have time.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. The plug.
MotorTrend app. All right, before we get started, let me tell you guys about our friends over at Geico. You've heard us talk about it before. Maybe you own your home or you rent your home. Either way, I know it can be a lot of work, but you know what's easy? It's bundling your policies with Geico. Geico makes it easy to bundle your homeowners and renters insurance along with your auto policy. And that's a good thing because you already have so much to do around your home already. So just go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. It's Geico easy. Just go to visit geico.com. That's geico.com.
Hey, it's a new edition of Shifting Chair. We're getting started right now.
Yeah.
I lose days. I lose hours. I don't know what it is. I mean, I think Matt's drinking a monster and Aaron has become a monster.
Yeah.
I got my rock star. Matt's got his monster, and then he's a monster. But hey, guys, how you doing today?
Doing all right. We had a nice sunny week, and now it's getting a little gloomy again. But
no, that sucks. You know why it sucks? Because actually, in all of this going on, the first time I've had a little extra time is this weekend. And I thought, oh, yeah, man, get out to the garage, do a little organization. And now if it rains, I'm going to be really upset.
Oh, actually, you don't get to do that. You got to.
I can't breathe in that thing.
Yes, I know.
I can't breathe in that thing.
You can't breathe in that thing? That would be a great, you need to put a N95 inside it and just wear that all the time.
That's as long as I can hold my breath.
Yes, Matt, now that you bring it up, next week I get to go to Havasu. So I'm going to go out to Havasu because the place where I've stored my boat, my fast boat for years, I got this nice letter that gave me a 30-day notice.
Oh no!
That they've sold the property to develop a shopping center, and everyone has to have their boats or whatever they have in there out by May the 5th. And I'm like, all this going on, and we get a 30-day notice? Really?
Yeah, because a shopping center is a great idea to build.
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
exactly. Isn't that?
Yeah.
So you know what? Let me rephrase that. They're developing the property for some other use. I just figured where it was, shopping center, something. It could be a in and out burger for all I know.
It could be a social distancing car wash. For all
exactly.
You know.
Yes.
So your boat's getting evicted.
My boat's getting evicted. It's going to come back to LA.
Can't you go back and say, hey, the government said I don't have to move right away, and I can defer my payments. And
you know what, Matt?
I don't think it works for boat storage.
I might be able to go back, and I'm sure a lot of other people are going, hey, I can't get over there. I just figured I've been wanting to get it out of there for a long time. It's a good excuse to do it, and it's one of those things where driving to Havasu right now is probably going to be a lot easier than it will be in the future. I can probably drive out there 100 miles an hour and, no problem. So
and appreciate it.
Yeah, don't do 100 on the way back when you're towing the boat.
No,
were you selling
not
that
a good
boat
idea.
a while back?
I've been trying to sell it, but not that hard. Yeah, you want to buy it?
There's no place to put it.
It's a beautiful Hallet enclosed bow with a salon downstairs. You can go down there, use the refrigerator, has a little bed, and it has a Paul Foff prepared big block motor in it with a Merc, outdrive. I mean, it's. I've had it up to 105, no problem at all. It's
I remember you talking about it at the Hallet. How big is it?
It's a 24-foot enclosed.
Oh, 24. I thought it was a 28 for some
I-
reason. You should measure it again.
It's either a 24 or a 27. To be honest with you, it's been so long since I've seen it. It's a 24 or a 27, but
Yeah,
it's a really
24,
nice.
unless it's a real deep hull, it's going to be a little choppy on.
Oh no, dude! This thing is a super deep V with a real wide beam, and
nice.
it's super stable. It's not a little flat bottom. It's
Nice.
and in fact, wait a minute.
Is it good for Tahoe?
Can you see it right there, or is there?
A little bit of a glare.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was.
That's old school. That
I
is
was
old
expecting
school.
a little more 80s of a paint job for you.
Yeah.
Now come on, it is. It's super low miles. I mean, super low hours.
Is that miles?
Yeah,
no miles.
It's got no miles. So,
But
is it on a trailer with some old school 15-inch Boyd billet wheels on the trailer?
no, it's on a trailer with 3 axles, and it's got those cast wheels with the holes all the way around. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's.
Well, when you get there, you're going to need 6 new tires.
Don't even,
Yeah.
don't
At
even,
least.
oh my God, because when you say that, it just bums me out because the last time I used it, I put 6 brand new Goodyears on it.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm going to have to replace all 6 of them. And I'm like,
Yeah.
God.
They're almost
Bring some
$100
fix a
piece.
flat. Yeah, bring some fix a flat and a small compressor, and
Yeah.
expect to spend a couple hours.
Yep. They literally, no exaggeration, had them put on and drove the boat back to the storage garage from the Goodyear store. That is all the miles that are on those tires.
Look, they're gonna look great while they're there, but
Yeah.
between the heat cycling, in the garage,
Yep.
they're gonna be hard and they're gonna be flat spotted on the
Mhm.
bottom, and
Big time.
but they're gonna look great.
But there's going to be no drifting for those tires. No, it won't be. I'll probably make it about a block, and one of them will go boom.
Yeah.
But
Well, good luck with that.
Yeah. No, I'll probably have to repack the wheel bearings and the trailer, everything, just because of the fact that when it's sat out there in the heat for a few years, nothing survives. Because you figure those garages, if it's 120 outside, what's it inside that garage?
Yeah.
I know the last time I was out there, the headliner downstairs had kind of drooped because the glue all gave away. So I got to take it to a upholstery shop and have them fix that. And, it's
Well,
always,
nice that you have a project.
Yeah.
For COVID-19,
yeah,
you got a little project.
You gotta probably oil that thing up before you fire it up. You probably gotta pull the distributor and put the drill in there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
put a little oil
and the
stuff in it.
tanks. The
Yeah.
tanks.
Oh.
I had them.
Jellyfish in the tanks.
Well, no, I had them all drained because I didn't want to have a problem.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, but that thing only uses avgas. I never put anything but avgas in it, which is better than what comes out of the other stuff. But
We know, Brad, it's sounding less and less appealing every minute. So
No, it just sounds
I
like
was
a little bit of
interested.
maintenance.
no, it's
work.
maintenance. It's maintenance like
It's
anything.
maintenance. It'll be a kind of a badass boat, but
It's like having a muscle car that's sat in a garage for a while. You do all those same things, and then
yeah.
well, that's different. You can drive a muscle car on the street.
yes,
None of
but
ours.
you are limited to the whole reason. When Michael Anthony got me, I wasn't a boat guy at all, guys. I was like, oh man, put it on and off the trailer and all that. And then after SEMA one year, when Mike got his brand new Hallett, he goes, hey, after SEMA, you want to go down? We'll take the wives down to my place in Havasu. And I was like, yeah, sure. As soon as I got out on the lake and found out the freedom of going as fast as you want, I was sold, man. I mean, it is so much fun because we would go out, we'd take our boats, we'd be screaming across the lake. You get up sometimes early in the morning and just go for a speed run. You trim that thing out, throw in a big rooster tail behind you, and it's just a blast. It is so much fun. And
boats are a lot of fun. I had one for a short time up here in Tahoe, and long hours at the cantina, working 18, 20-hour weekends, days. I would go out because I'd work later in the day. So I'd go out in the morning when it was perfectly smooth and placid with the kids, have a brunch out there, drive back, drop the boat off, go to work, and just be bouncing all through the shift. It's it can really add joy to your life until raccoons get in it over the winter.
Yeah.
Then it's not. Then it really kills the fun.
Yeah, no kidding. No, but you're right, Aaron, because that's what I used to always say is that when I got out on the lake, I forgot about everything else. One of the greatest things was literally out on the lake, my cell phone didn't get reception, and that was like great because I just threw it in the drawer and went for it, you know. But we had a lot of good times out there, and then it's the parties at night and Aaron, you've seen Mikey's cannon, haven't you?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Mike is a boat guy with all the toys, all the accessories.
So Matt, Mike has a cannon, and it is a scale model cannon that was made by Winchester, and it fires shotgun shells or shotgun blanks, and it is the loudest thing you've ever heard. Throws a flame like 3-4 feet out the end, and we'd be out in Apsu at the condos out there, and if it was a particularly wild night, a lot of alcohol being consumed and like that, Mike could go.
Which is a regular night.
Yeah, every night.
Yeah.
Mike could look at me and he'd go, "Should I get the cannon out?" And everybody would go, "Yeah." And his wife would be like, "No," because every time he got it out, he'd put it out on the deck, he'd look around, and then he'd fire it, and then he'd put it away real quick because the police would show up every time because it sounded like a gunshot, you know?
Yeah.
And one night, they knocked on the front door, and he was like, "Well, yeah, it's just a blank that yeah, well, the people on the boat that were going by thought you were shooting at them," and you know, he's like, it was a blast, man. That was good times. But,
where's the cannon now? Does he still have it? I'm sure.
Yes. In fact, the last July 4th down in Newport, we were out and it almost came out, but he hasn't had the cojones to bring it out in his new place in Newport yet.
Yeah.
Because,
I don't know.
You know, the helicopters circling above and all that kind of stuff.
The reality is he forgot which box of shotgun shells was the blankest.
Can you imagine? Boom! And the neighbors, you know, they're across the bay, the whole
see a bunch of pigeons full of sky seagulls.
Oh, yeah, or some seagulls fall out of the air.
Yeah.
Some guy loses wind on his sailboat.
No,
all right. So if anybody wants to buy a Hallett with a trailer with brand new tires, and,
how long has it been in storage, Brad?
4 years. I have the guy go
Not too
over.
bad.
Actually, every year my boat guy goes over and he pulls it out.
Says he checks on it.
No, I get the bill. Trust me. He services the outdrive. He fires it up, runs some water through it and everything like that, because otherwise everything dries out just like anything sitting around. You know how many polycarbs I put on that thing? Because they dry out and they just start leaking everywhere, which is the last thing you want. But
well,
anyways, yeah, if you want a Hallett boat, season's coming, man. You could have a lot of fun for a very little money, because that was a when I bought that was $125,000 boat. So
holy cow!
Yeah, because it's got the best motor you can get, that Paul Foff motor, but fraction of the price. So
I always see these boat motors on Craigslist, and they're these big blocks, and they're full this and that. And I'm like, well, that motor be great in a rat rod. And then I go, oh, it's a boat motor.
Because it'd be backwards.
Because the exhaust or the intakes, everything looks so cool because they're made to plumb water through and circulate. And they look so cool. I'm like, can I run one of those on a rat rod? Just come on, it would look so cool with all the plumbing and literally.
Well, maybe you should take an old flat bottom boat, put it on a chassis, and make
you ever been to Burning Man?
Huh?
They're everywhere. They're everywhere at Burning Man.
Yeah, there is no Burning Man anymore. There's no nothing, okay?
I'm wondering if there's going to be SEMA this year.
They're saying yes. They're saying
yes, but we'll
actually
see.
the booth allocations start getting assigned or something, I think, next month in May, and they're
Yeah.
moving forward with it. And so I would say it's probably going to happen. There's other events that are being canceled for sure, but
I think
California is saying,
I think we'll see. It's far enough into the future, but we might see attendance being down for a number of reasons. People being unemployed, people not having the extra income to go on that trip, and just, some companies that just can't allocate the budget for it this year.
yeah, well, Acciair is not going to be there.
No, that's true. That's true.
That
yeah,
sucks.
that's not going to be there.
Man, what a mess. Yeah.
That's not the last one. I think you're going to see some other companies, because this is a really hard thing on aftermarket companies.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of companies like mine haven't been able to run. And I just realized recently that if this ever happens again, which let's hope it doesn't, but we could have possibly gotten a pass as being necessary because of one of my customers who is an direct OEM supplier, and never even came up because they buy like once a year from us. But I was talking to somebody, and they go, "Oh, you could have got it with that," and I'm like going, "Well, thanks for telling me now," but I don't think it would have made a difference. It's we're coming around. I'm hoping that a week from now we'll be back up and running. So, they're not loosening.
I don't know if it's good or bad, or really don't have much of an opinion either way. But
What if my factory ever opens again? Thanks a lot, man.
No, but looking around here in LA, this has been the week where it's feeling like people are kind of like having like enough's enough.
Yeah. See them out all over?
It's all over. The 10 freeway is already backed up. There's tons of traffic.
Wow.
People everywhere. And I just don't know if it's a mental thing. It's like, I guess if you tell people they're going to die long enough and then nobody dies, they just stop kind of believing it. Or it's people are like, hey, I've got to do stuff. Like I've got to start working now. Like there's like I did my couple of months or whatever, and now I have to actually go out and try to make some money. Or people are just going stir crazy and saying I needed to do something. But this has been the week. The past few days, especially as we're recording this, has been a lot more going on out there. Like I think it was even like Dr. Drew was telling me. Or he told Adam or something, and hey, look, there's cheap.
Sorry, he was pawing at me.
You just drive by a park, and it's no longer like somebody's just doing like stretches or burpees or something out there. There's like two teams playing soccer. There's like, and there was like a baseball game going on. So I think.
Yeah, people. You can only hold people back so much, and then they just go, "Screw this,"
Yeah, I mean, look, I get it. The social distancing thing, like it worked, and it is working, and we should continue to do it. But some people are going to start to get on edge and not do it as much. But
Jeep's not on edge. He wants to say hi.
Hey, Jeep, how you doing, buddy?
He wants to spit and slobber all over you guys now.
Yeah.
If you hear all the snorting in the background, Jeep's running back and forth, and I have a zebra rug on the floor, and he rolls on it and just has a fun time with your little finger things, they're all over the place.
Don't. Right. That is a swallow hazard. Be careful. I'm just, my disclaimer.
So, oh, it's okay. We find them in the yard later. I didn't mean to distract the moment there.
Did either of you see the tweet from Moroso Motorsports Park up in the Midwest? The owner of the park is basically like, screw this. He did a Facebook Live yesterday, and he's like, we were supposed to open last week, and we're told by the state that we can't. Well, you know what? Screw this. We're running. Next week, we're opening up. He went down the list of all the improvements. They repaved the track. They bought extra area. They redid everything. They were saying that they spent like millions of dollars to reopen this year and have a points run and all this stuff. And he just said, I don't care. What's the state going to do? And it was pretty interesting because there was a real mixed bag of responses, like, oh man, good for you. We all got to get back to work. And then other people going, you're irresponsible and you're selfish because I own a business. I want to reopen too, but I can't. There were people posting things like that. And what do you guys think about like a drag strip that, yes, everybody wants to reopen, but should they or shouldn't they at this point? Especially up in an area.
Even if he reopens, doesn't mean anyone's going to go. Like you can't force people to attend the event. Right?
Well, that's true. But I think he was going from social media and that a lot of people were saying, we'll be there. We'll be bringing our cars.
Yeah, maybe some people will show up to race, but it's not going to be, it doesn't have to be a big spectator thing. Maybe they're just trying to create some content. I don't know. Like,
hey, it's a real tough call, and it's not a generalized thing to answer because there's so many specific situations where however you feel doesn't kind of work. It doesn't apply. Like the forest here, I'm a big off-road guy and overlanding and enduro, and it's like I'm dying to get out on the trail, but should I? What if something happens? What if I get hurt? The problem is the infrastructure, that there's no one to cover it. And we're seeing that with food products, with Tyson right now, their employees are getting sick. So chicken's not being processed, and it's the same way that the forestry has shut down all the state and national parks, all of California, Tahoe. We just got a notice that all the parks are closed in Tahoe. Even some of the bike trails that run through park properties are closed, and they're fining people. We haven't seen it enforced because it's only a couple days old, but that means no more going out on the, enduro riding or overlanding. And I don't know, it's like at times I sit back and I go, that's not hurting anybody, if I go out on the trails. But then I think, well, yeah, it is, because if something happens, it's going to be harder, to get to me, or I don't know, it's tough. It is kind of a selfish thing because we're all a little antsy and we all want to get out and do stuff. Sometimes I feel, well, should I be going to my shop? I mean, we're really not supposed to be going anywhere. But there's so much mixed information. It's really hard to find accuracy in anything too.
Yeah.
The thing is that everything's changing. I mean, everything's changing dramatically, and some things are changing overnight. And we're going to see a whole new world because I went in to get my big gulp this morning like I always do. And this morning, I got my mask on. But there's a big sign that says, you cannot enter the store without a mask. As of last night, Orange County's put these new rules in. You can't even go up and get your self-serve drink, coffee, anything anymore. The person there has to serve it to you. And
the grocery store up here just implemented bags. You can't bring your own bags anymore. So
yes, because they have
to bag.
Yeah.
I'm all itchy.
Did you guys get my text?
Yeah, I see your information. We're doing this Zoom video chat, as you guys know, and they're kind of limiting the amount of meeting time we can have. So we've got a few minutes left for the show. But are you mini truck guy fans? Because there's stuff happening in the mini truck world. I call them mini trucks, but I don't know where they are.
What? Is there a company that's making convertible tops for mini trucks?
I've got a mini truck.
No, I'm a big fan, and I have lots of wheel customers in the mini truck world. What's going on, Matt?
Well, the modern day mini trucks were the size of my Ford Lightning. So a Ford Ranger today is as big as my Ford Lightning outside. our buddy Von Gittin Jr. has his RTR brand, and he has an RTR Ranger because they didn't bring the Raptor Ranger here to the U.S. So he announced at SEMA his version, Fox shocks and flared fenders and the lift kit and the Nitto tires and the catback exhaust. And his package is, I don't know, it's like $9,800 on top of the Ranger. It's not a big power bump increase, but it puts the cosmetic and suspension stuff that you expect on a Ranger, which is kind of neat. And then Ford today, or as we're recording this, announced a performance pack for the Ranger, which is interesting because apparently there's a lot more power in that motor. The 4-cylinder turbo is 270 horsepower, and I think Ford's performance upgrade makes it 320. So you get a really nice a bump in power for that. It's $825. But here's the things. I know there's lots of guys out there, different companies that offer a tune package or something, which is good. But the Ford one is directly out of the Ford Motorsports catalog. It is 50 state legal, and it has a 3-year, 36,000 mile warranty when installed by your Ford dealer. So if you go to your Ford dealer or like a Galpin Autosports or something, go, hey, I hop up my Ranger with this package. It includes the a K&N filter, the engine and transmission tune. It adds 4,500 horsepower and 60 pound-feet of torque, which is a nice little upgrade.
Yeah, no doubt.
However, if you guys want to get into the Chevy world, the Chevy Colorado, cool truck, but known to be a little bit down on horsepower as well. There are supercharger packages available, and our buddy Ken Lingenfelter, those guys have been, they work with Edelbrock on their supercharger packages, but then they do a lot of their own tuning and things like that for it. So Lingenfelter has a supercharger package with their tune. It's about $5,500. And now it ups the horsepower to 450 horsepower in the Colorado.
Tasty.
But you can also get from them, like Lingenfelter's turnkey packages. They have a whole turnkey package for the Colorado. It's the supercharger package. It's the exhaust. It's suspension. It's got a 1.5-inch body leveling package, wheels, tires, upgraded suspension. It's all installed, dyno tuned. You get their certificate from them. The whole package is $15,500. But you get a cool looking, like you would like if you went to a Roush or you went to a Celine or you went to somebody like that and just bought the whole turnkey package. You can get the Lingenfelter Colorado with 450 horsepower.
Okay, but I got a question. If I take that Colorado to San Diego, do I get more horsepower because the Colorado is the 450 compensated for the elevation?
That's actually an interesting question, but I don't think so.
Oh, you're telling me it's just a name. It's not.
Brad,
I know.
I remember that Colorado from SEMA. It was on the towards the Central Hall aisle. It was facing towards the street. There was I took a couple pictures of it several times. I passed it. Went, man, that's a good looking truck. I don't know that it was stock, but it was a good looking truck. I have to say.
So Edelbrock, I think, had a Lingenfelter Colorado in their booth, and then Lingenfelter had a version of his full truck. One was the supercharger package, and one was the full build truck. And
maybe it was one of those because, man, it looked good.
Aaron, that was the one we went over and did the video, but the sound quality was not good enough to post. So, hey, guys, we got 2 minutes. Aaron, do you want to say anything about Mike before we have to go?
Yeah, we lost Mike Lavalle, of Killer Paint, the True Fire founder, and he was 60 years old. Yeah, he was a real good friend of ours and a great man of the community and the art world and airbrushing. You've seen him on Overhauling. You've seen him on Monster
Real
Garage.
Flames. He was known for his real flames, man.
True Flame. Yeah. It's he was a great guy. He had a stroke, and it had nothing to do with COVID, and he passed away from complications. He had bleeding on the brain, some nasty stuff. But what a bummer.
It sucks when we lose somebody in the industry, somebody that everybody knew and everybody liked. And guys, they're going to cut us off here, so I want to wrap it up real quick. Thanks for listening to Shift and Steer. We'll be back again next week. Be sure you go to iTunes, listen, our website, and listen, and watch for all kinds of posts up on our social media. And, go like us too. Even if you don't like us on the show, like us on social media, because we're there. Hey, guys, thanks. Thanks a lot, man. We'll see you next week. Rat Fink!